Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds in the studio. Thank God it's Friday. So also, considering one of the last incidents is facing a Kansas City Chief player who wasn't really forthcoming about what actually went down and the, everything after the fact and then what happened to him. I'm referring to Kareem Hunt. Even though what he did wasn't cool, I'm glad at least Rasheed was honest about the situation at a certain point, that is.
I don't think he had a choice.
No, he didn't.
I think his lawyer said to him, hey, Rasheed, they've got you on this, man. They've got the pictures. They've got everything. Here's what you do. You admit your crime, work with the people, and maybe, just maybe, they'll be a little bit more lenient with you than they might ordinarily have been. I think the lawyer told him to do that. He admitted to, and it wasn't the Corvette. He was driving the Lamborghini. And the Lamborghini was the one that kind of instituted everything that went on. It bounced off another car, bounced off one. Anyway, that's beside the point. Rashee Rice did admit, and he also admitted, and this is the key to leaving the scene. Now, there's the big crime right there. Under Texas law, the max penalty for leaving the scene of an accident in which there are people hospitalized is 5 years in prison and a substantial, I think it's $250,000 fine. That's probably not what's going to happen to him, but he will get some level of penalty. It may be reduced. I can't imagine a plea bargain in a case like this. I'm not a lawyer, but I just can't think that's going to happen. But then he being Rice, has to deal with the Chiefs and the NFL.
Yeah. And
that's where the penalties will really be substantial. I'm going to be surprised if he plays this year.
You don't think he's going to play at all this year?
If he does, it'll be toward the end of the season. That's just a guess. I don't know.
I mean, the NFL hasn't been very consistent in certain punishments, in my opinion. We'll see what happens. Honestly, like I said, he's a kid. Luckily, no one was hospitalized, right? No one got severely.
But Mike, that's a matter of luck.
Oh yeah. Also, something that might also play into his favor is he's an SMU kid. This is where it happened, literally right outside of SMU. You don't think any kind of local favoritism is going to come into play, too?
I doubt it. I doubt
Texas
that.
Well, no,
wait a minute. I think in a case like this, in which it's received national publicity, and which there have been previous incidents within the last couple of years, Henry Ruggs, thank you, and others, O'Menahue, he was domestic violence, but he was involved with weapons in his car and all that sort of thing, and what was in the sack that they took out and disposed of. That's another key. I think there are a number of factors, but the NFL feels a lesson has to be taught here.
Yeah, we'll see. But at the same time, it's Texas, too. So, Razorbacks, already looking for a new basketball coach, is that right?
I am astounded at this one. Eric Musselman, who's been their coach now for about 5 years and had success down in Fayetteville, did not have any this year. They were under 500. And just didn't really play very well together. Well, unbeknownst to the media and anybody else, I didn't even know this was coming, Andy Enfield left Southern Cal to take the job at Southern Methodist in basketball. That leaves the Southern Cal job open. They immediately came to Musselman, or he went to them. Don't know that, but whatever it was, Southern Cal hired Eric Musselman to coach the Trojans. Hired him yesterday. Family's moving to Los Angeles. That leaves the Razorbacks out of a job. And Southern Cal, this is interesting because their entire athletic program joins the Big Ten next year. That'll be some substantial competition, believe me. Not that the SEC isn't, but Musselman, who comes from a basketball family, will have his work cut out for him out there.
Absolutely will. All right, well, we got the Final Four happening this weekend, but the NIT went down yesterday. How'd that happen?
Great game. A terrific game between two good teams. Seton Hall a little bit better. They had the lead for much of the game. Indiana State came back, took the lead, and then Seton Hall outscored them 9-0 down the stretch and won the game 79-77. A thriller. Indiana State had a chance at the end of the game. In fact, they had two chances at the end of the game, could not convert. 2-point win for the Seton Hall Pirates from Orange, New Jersey. They are the NIT champs, and watch out for them next year as a young team.
St. Louis Cardinals are back home this weekend. How'd their game go yesterday?
They opened up yesterday, big crowd on hand, a lot of celebration. Opening day is a big day in St. Louis, and Many businesses, some of the schools closed. It's just really big. Well, the Cardinals played the Miami Marlins. Miami has Jake Berger on their team. Might not mean anything to you, Mike, but Berger was an All-America in Missouri State and a really big-time slugger and has been in the major leagues. He hits 2 home runs at Busch Stadium yesterday. In fact, his sister is the tennis coach at Missouri State. Big Jake hits a couple of them out of the ballpark, and the Marlins have a 4-1 lead midway through the game. Miami has pretty good offense. They have 0 pitching. Their pitching's awful. Cardinals came back and won it 8-5, so the Cardinals get a win, and Berger gets a chance to celebrate. The Miami Marlins, folks, are 0-8 to start out the season. 0-8. They'll win some games, but they better get some pitchers in there. Their big pitchers are all hurt.
And that's how this whole thing goes. If you ain't got the pitching, you ain't got nothing. Royals back in Kansas City as well this weekend too, right?
I'm telling you, this team is a whole lot better from what they have been. Last year was, in my opinion, a negative anomaly. This year it is not. They're hitting the ball 10-1. They beat the Chicago White Sox last night. 10 runs on 10 hits. White Sox got battered around. MJ Melendez had a very big game, couple of RBIs. So did Nelson Velasquez. And the Royals win at 10-1. Crowd of about 10,000 on hand at Kauffman Stadium to watch the game. And, hey, they had a delight in seeing their team run Chicago right out of the ballpark.
A lot of fun, and a lot of people now wondering if they might still be in Kansas City in the next few years after what went down this week. They may want to change their mind if they sweep the White Sox this weekend. All right, the Athletics won't be in Oakland. They're currently building what I think is going to be one of the most gorgeous baseball stadiums in the country. From what I have seen of it, it looks like it's going to be awesome. But in the meantime, what's going on with them?
Well, they had been offered a lease, an extension of the lease to play in the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum, which is falling apart. It isn't really a great place to play. It's big. They have plenty of people, or plenty of seats in there, but no people to go to the games. Anyway, the A's franchise and the ownership and so forth decided, do we really want to stay in Oakland for the next 3 years while the stadium in Las Vegas is being built? Let's entertain other offers. So they did, and they signed yesterday to play in Sacramento, the state capital. So starting next year, that's where the Athletics team will be. Now, will they be the Sacramento A's? Will they be the Oakland A's? Will they be Las Vegas? They probably won't be anything except the Athletics, and that's probably what they'll be. They're going to play in Sacramento has a AAA baseball team, the Sacramento River Cats. They're going to play in their stadium, which is not bigger than Hammons Field. So what are they going to do? Major League Baseball has to expand that. They'll bring in portable seats, I'm quite sure, and put it at 29 or 30,000, somewhere around there. But that's where the A's will play for the next 3 years, Sacramento, California.
It's going to be a lot of fun for kids in that area, too. I mean, to have access, if you can imagine, I know that it'll never happen, but if, like, the Cardinals, for example, were forced to play down here for a couple of years, that would be unbelievable for some of the kids around here. So even though it is the Athletics, same difference. At least you get to watch a pro ball team in your own backyard.
Major League Baseball.
Oh, yeah, man. Ned, you have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday.